King Charles will speak freely behind closed doors with world leaders and politicians after having spent decades campaigning, a royal commentator has claimed. Joe Biden met with the 74-year-old monarch at Windsor Castle earlier this month to discuss the climate emergency, the pair's first one-on-one meeting since Charles took the reins. The U.S. president did not attend the king's coronation in May, sending his wife, Jill, instead. But the pair have met on multiple occasions and joined forces when it comes to the environment in the past, most recently meeting during the COP26 summit held in Glasgow and at a Buckingham Palace reception held during the 2021 G7 summit. Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers said he believes Charles, who has been an environmentalist for several decades, will not shy away from discussing certain policies because he isn't going to change his spots. King Charles entirely comfortable with President Joe Biden patting his back. Speaking on the Pod Save the King podcast, released on July 13, host Ann Gripper asked, "Is Charles allowed to speak to Joe Biden, the man who sets policy in America? Is he allowed to chat Joe Biden up and say, I really think you should be doing a bit less oil and a bit more solar farm?" Mr. Myers said, "You wouldn't get the Queen doing that, but Charles is not going to change his spots, is he? Everybody knows what he's like as a man, as a campaigner, as an environmentalist." Charles campaigned tirelessly as Prince of Wales, as patron or president of more than 400 charities, and for 5 decades, he has championed the ecological movement. In 2020, Charles launched the Sustainable Markets Initiative at Davos, bringing together global CEOs to raise climate finance, and he has strived to make the Commonwealth a market leader in tackling the problem. Don't miss: should Prince George have to serve in the army before becoming king? Poll: Charles dismissed as sandwich filling between reign of late Queen and William. Insight: new passports featuring King Charles III unveiled after Queen's death. Report: one cannot expect a man who has done the same job for 50 years and campaigned for the same amount of time to give it all up because he is wearing a new hat now, Mr. Myers said. However, in the 2018 BBC documentary Prince, Son and Heir, Charles at 70, the then Prince of Wales was asked if he planned to reign as king in the same interventionist way as he currently operates. He responded, "I'm not that stupid. I do realize that it is a separate exercise of being sovereign. So, of course, I understand entirely how that should operate. The idea somehow that I'm going to go on in exactly the same way if I have to succeed, is complete nonsense. Because the two situations are completely different." But Mr. Myers believes that in private, Biden would have viewed Charles as a campaigner first rather than a sovereign. He continued, "I think he's not going to shy away from saying these are certain policies which we should be looking to in the quiet moments of speaking to President Biden. I think Biden would respect him as a man and a campaigner first rather than acknowledging him as king." All episodes of Pod Save the King are available here.